I don't make a whole lot of beer at once, but I promise you, every bit of beer that I make, I bust my tuchus for. Once again, I don't use my language. I bust my tuchus for every amount of beer that you drink. I'm glad all of you are having a good time. Kind of, Eric Thornton. Just kind of grab my load. Thornton, Eric Thornton. Thank you. That's Beer Geek ATL. Y'all follow him on Twitter and everything. He's a good guy. So first of all, just kind of go over these different levels of brewing. I mean, we're tiny. It's coming through. We're tiny, as you can see. What you got there, Thornton? Thanks for grabbing my ass. Yeah, buddy. So there are these guys up in Cartersville. How many of you guys ever been to Cartersville? Yeah. Okay, there are these guys in Cartersville who say they're from America and they make beer. But at one point in time, they were in St. Louis, and now they're kind of owned by this company in Belgium, Anheuser-Busch InBev. Never mind, let's not forget about them, because they sued this guy named Sam Calgione from Dogfish Head for giving him shit on his tours. So please shush. I don't want to be sued. Okay, these guys at this Belgium-owned company that every NASCAR driver likes to drink because they love America. But anyway, never mind. They're kind of on this level that we'll never see. They spill more beer in 30 seconds than I can ever make in my lifetime. That a bunch of people who are wussies like to drink when they want to get drunk. Now, I will say this: I'll occasionally drink a tall one Miller High Life or a PBR out of the can, and usually while I'm fishing or doing something that I probably shouldn't be doing. But anyway, these guys are way up here, where we will never be. Then you've got these guys. Let's take our friend Sweetwater, our friends Terry, who have Sierra Nevada, Sam Adams, Dogfish Head. These guys that paved the way for what we're doing, that are distributed all across the country. They're what we call regional breweries. They're beers you can get almost anywhere, but they're still making good shit. Then you've got guys like our buddies down here in Marietta, Red Hair, our buddies in Atlanta Monday Night. They're what we call microbreweries. And then way down here, down on the tops of my Chuck Taylors right here, we've got these things called nano-breweries. And that's what we are. We make a whole lot of beer and we bust our tuchus for every drop of it. How many of you guys are homebrewers? Have ever homebrewed anything? Okay, first of all, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for what you do. Because you guys are the people that go to the store, you buy a six-pack, you go to the bar, you buy a pint, and you drink the beer and you say, hey, I like that, but I want something different. I want something I can't buy at the bar. I want something I can't buy at the liquor store. You guys are the guys that, in my opinion, inspire me and the things that I brew, because you want to brew the shit you cannot buy. Trying to not lose that mentality of brewing the shit that I can't buy. That's why I make a graham cracker stout. That's why I make a Belgian peach IPA. That's why I make a cherry raspberry porter. Because of you guys, because I am deathly terrified of losing that mentality and making beer that everybody in the world wants to drink. And that scares the shit out of me. Woo! So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Said you're homebrewers, you probably know this. You guys that didn't raise your hand and say you're homebrewers probably don't give a shit about what I'm about to say. You just want to drink some more beer. But I'm going to say it anyway, and yes, there is an exam, I promise. It will be Scantron and 2 essay questions. Dude, I have no number 2 pencils. If you did not bring your own number 2 pencil, you failed. Sorry guys. Okay, so kind of a general overview of the brewing process. So kind of the goal of brewing is to make sugar. We've got to make sugar, because we've got these little guys that we can't see only under a microscope called Saccharomyces, our friends yeast. And yeast make beer. Kind of my big joke is, I'm a brewer, all of you guys think I make beer and you think I'm cool because I make beer. I've never made a drop of beer in my life. I make a whole shat ton of yeast food. I make a whole bunch of food for yeast to make beer. So my friends Saccharomyces, we're BFFs, we got a Braves game.
Yes.
We hang out on the sofa, we spoon at night. That's kind of weird. So basically what my goal is to make food for yeast to turn into alcohol and carbon dioxide. We all hate carbon dioxide because it will kill us, and we all love alcohol because it is the bread of life. And I've got to take grain and I've got to beat it into submission to make sugar. So I climb up and down this damn yellow ladder, of which is the bane of my existence. I hate this fucking ladder. And I've got a whole lot of grain up there. I've got to crush this grain. Picture this. I've got to crush this grain into like grits. How many of you guys like grits? How many of you guys like grits with cheese? Yeah. And butter? How many of you guys have ever eaten polenta? Yeah. You're out of my tour, you're a Yankee, get away. Grain about that big. I've got to crush them into a grit type concoction. And I run up and down this ladder, and I have grits in the form of barley, wheat, rye, coming down this PVC chute into 5-gallon Home Depot buckets. Now when I look down from way up there above my buddy Zeke right there, and I see the grain buckets getting full, I've got to run down the ladder real quick. And I've got to put another bucket under there, and I've got to run up the ladder real quick. Don't tell OSHA because they will hate me. Please don't tell OSHA. That's bullshit. So after I crush all this grain into tiny little bits, I crack open what we call the endosperm. And I'm not talking about real sperm, it's endosperm. Please put the prefix on that. And the endosperm is the part that creates the sugar. That's where all of our energy is located inside of the grain. So now, I've got all this cracked open sugar. Now this stuff is sugar that, my friends, what do we call yeast? What's the technical name for it?
Saccharomyces.
Saccharomyces! Yes, you pass! He gets noggin knocker. Anyway, so these are complex carbohydrates inside of this grain. My goal is to turn them into simple sugars, which Saccharomyces can ferment into this lovely stuff we call alcohol. So what I've got here, this is the Millennium Falcon. This is my baby right here. This is what does all the work. The Millennium Falcon. So what I've got here, I've got my hot liquor tank. This is where I heat water. And now the purpose of heating my water is to activate, when I add it to my grains, my endosperm. That sounds right. My purpose is to activate two enzymes, one called alpha amylase, one called beta amylase. And these two enzymes work together in unison, like figure skaters. It's very sweet, I love figure. I've got to activate these enzymes to break down these complex carbohydrates into simple sugars, which my friend Saccharomyces can handle. So different beers require different temperatures, they require different amounts of water, they require different times down here in my mash tun. That's where I create this like oatmeal porridge kind of Yankees polenta kind of bullshit. After I've let it sit there at a certain temperature for a certain amount of time, and then I've determined that my alpha and beta amylase have done their business long enough, then I pump it all into this guy. This is my brew kettle. Now, at this point, I boil my liquid for anywhere from 60 to 120 minutes, depending on what I'm making. Now, kind of my big joke is like everybody's like, oh, hey, you're a brewer, you're living the dream. Hey guys, listen. I sit here for 12 hours a day and I boil fucking sugar water and I put a bunch of shit into boiling sugar water. If that's living the dream, hey, I'm living the dream. So different beers boil for any different amounts of time. I'm adding different things. How many of you guys have had a Zeke or Old Woodenhead today? Hey guys, I'm gonna give. How many of you guys have had Old Woodenhead and are married? Drink too much Old Woodenhead or shit is going awry. I promise you. I don't even drink Old Woodenhead. That shit is dangerous. So basically, like Old Woodenhead and Zeke.
No. Don't fall.
Don't tell OSHA I'm standing where I'm standing.
Take a picture of him up there. Send it to me.
Okay, that's Scott. He's my boss. He signs my paycheck, and I love him for it. So basically, during like Zeke and Old Woodenhead, I'm adding a shat ton of hops. Now, when I'm brewing, how many of you guys have had Big Shandy today? Big Shandy? A lot of you might have not gotten here in time. How about 9353? Yeah. Okay. I'm adding shit like graham crackers and cinnamon and peaches and fucked up shit that you home brewers want to drink in your beer. Cheers, bro. So I'm adding that in here. Now once I'm done boiling, now my goal is, one thing that Saccharomyces hates more than anything else is hot shit. Saccharomyces hates hot shit. I hate hot shit. A week ago, my brew house was 112 degrees, and I was pissed off. Never mind, let's not talk about that. Get down to somewhere between 65 and 75 degrees as fast as possible. So I invented what this contraption is called the Frankenchiller. I took a whole bunch of different pieces of equipment that are meant to cool things off, and I put them together all in one chain, and I can somehow manage to take 200-degree liquid and get it to 68 degrees in a matter of 20 minutes. And I'm very happy about that. Now, at this point in time, once my liquid is at 68 degrees, I pump it into a fermenter, of which I add my friends. What are they called?
Saccharomyces.
Saccharomyces. You guys are so fucking smart. He's smart. I add these guys. They do their business. They get it down. I play some Boom Chicka Brown Cow music in the firm room over there. It gets weird, guys. I promise. My yeast create a bunch of alcohol. We blow off the CO2. Suddenly, after 7 to 10 days, we've got a shitload of beer. Sometimes I might add some more hops. Sometimes I might add some cinnamon. Sometimes I might add some peaches. There's some apricots or some other various shit that you guys, I think you might like, and sometimes you do. Sometimes you tell me
over here for you.
Oh yeah, there we go. So basically, after that, I ferment the beer for damn hours. I can carbonate my beer in 2 hours. It then goes into a keg, of which goes to you guys to enjoy. For example, the Zeke you're drinking right now that I'm drinking, I kegged it yesterday morning. It's as fresh as you're ever going to get this beer. It's beautiful. Fresh, hoppy beers are the way to drink that shit. By the way, public service announcement. How many of you guys like IPAs? All right, please do me a favor. Next time you go to the store and you buy a 6-pack, you buy a 22-ounce bottle, you buy some IPAs, please look at the date on that bottle.
Thank you.
If that bottle is any more than 3 months old, go kick the store on it. Just tell them that's bullshit. Those hops have faded, that beer is properly oxidized, and I don't want that shit. I want some fresh IPAs. So anyway, that being said, I keg the beer. It goes out to your local watering hole. And soon, guys, we're going to be expanding. I'm not going to be making beer on the Millennium Falcon. I'm going to be making beer on a system about 20 times this size by the beginning of the year, of which doesn't have a name. So if you guys want to suggest some names for the brew system, you may take it. What? Fat Bastard.
The Death Star.
The Death Star. The Death Star. The Millennium Falcon and the Death Star. I dig that. So anyway, there's more Burnt Hickory coming to the market, guys. I know it's really hard to find our beer. Shit, it's hard for me to find my beer. It sucks. I can't even find my beer at bars. So please, guys, let your local tavern keepers, your watering hole professionals, your barkeeps know there's more Burnt Hickory on the way, and tell them, God damn it, this shit feels so good in my mouth. That being said, that's kind of a general overview of the brewing process. What up, Scott Hedin? I'm being stopped over here.
The Rotman's here.
Oh, what up, Robin? I know he's here. Anyway, that being said, let's open it up to some questions. Anybody have any questions about the shit we do here? Or questions in general about my love life, my family? What you got, guys? Anything? Yes, sir.
You're going to use the Millennium Falcon to do like test batches?
The Millennium Falcon will never die. The Millennium Falcon is actually the location it's about to use. The Millennium Falcon will be used to create test batches, and that's something I'm so looking forward to because at the level we're at right now and the amount of beer I need to produce, I don't have time for test batches. I've got to keep brewing shit that goes to bars, that goes to make you guys' mouths happy. I'm looking forward to being able to brew test batches. So, yes, the Millennium Falcon, we're going to talk about that.